We're finally back, sports fans, and in typical TNT fashion, both games ended early. But we can glean a lot from what we saw from all four teams, and while some of it wasn't pretty, the two winning teams used newcomers to spark them to runs that ended their games early. But it was the Warriors who have put the league on notice that they're even better than last year as they look deep, immensely skilled, and ready to win another title. I knew the addition of Malcolm Brogdon would be a smooth transition, and I also know he's going to force the coaching staff to make a decision whether to start him sooner than later, as he brings a skill set to his position that the Celtics simply don't have. It didn't take long for him to put his ability to read the defense on display, as Blake Griffin makes the one more pass and he attacks on the catch, with a terrible closeout by James Harden, and Harrell running to Tatum on the perimeter means an easy lefty layup. This play calls for a pin down by Horford and Tatum setting a ball screen for Brogdon. He sees Embiid's eyes glued to that action and just attacks the paint, getting a terrific inside hand finish to avoid the block as Embiid has no idea what's happening. Here's that same play again, and watch what it does to Embiid's position. He backs up to allow a lane for House to get through, but he never gets back into proper position on Horford, allowing Brogdon to get to the baseline with no resistance on an easy hop into a 10-footer. Usually on a sideline out of bounds play, you'll see the guard cut to the top to receive an easy pass. But this Boston play looks designed to have Brogdon cut back door with a brushed back screen by Williams. There's no excuse for Melton being even with him other than to cheat to the cutout top. Brogdon doesn't even have to use a fake as he slips for another inside hand layup. His passing is also going to be a big key for the Celtics offense as he threads the needle to Tatum, but then keeps moving, attacking right away, which draws the help from Embiid and the easy dump-off pass to Vonleh for another layup. Tatum is the engine for this offense, so being able to play off his drives is paramount to any guard on the roster. And check the split with his right foot forward, showing a drive to that side, but getting into the middle instead. He's the epitome of the wily veteran, controlling the play on balance until he uses the good shot fake to get Maxey out of the way, then an over the right shoulder lefty jump hook over Joel Embiid, soft off the glass as he's falling down. The Celtics coaching staff must be thrilled considering the other guard they have on their team that likes to shoot lefty shots as well. On this baseline drive, you'd normally think it's a bad idea to jump and hover out of bounds before throwing the drift pass, but he can see PJ Tucker is tied up with his sink rotation and a leading bounce pass can get there, allowing Tatum to attack the closeout for an easy 16-footer. Brogdon again catches Embiid not paying attention as he thinks he knows what the play is, but is caught 3 steps behind as Brogdon uses a lefty inside-out dribble with some sneaky bursts of speed to get the off-foot layup. And to put a bow on his torture of Embiid, they quickly get into a pick and roll out top after Joel wandered over to stop the initial attack, but it left him too deep to do anything but watch Brogdon hop into a wide open 18-footer that essentially put this game out of reach as the Celtics won going away. A bright spot for Philly was the Harden-Embiid pick and roll. The Celtics could not do much to stop it all night, especially when Harden gets going downhill and so does Embiid. Vonleh has to choose one or the other. This time, there were 2 weak side defenders willing to get in Embiid's way to stop the roll, but he's just too big and powerful that close to the basket. Watch Horford on this pick and roll. He tries to stay in the middle and not commit to either the ball or the roll man. Harden takes advantage with the quick release floater off 2 feet. The problem is, the Sixers completely abandoned this pick and roll in the fourth quarter once Harden came back in. And this reflects poorly on the coaching staff that they didn't understand the best way the Sixers were scoring at a time in the game when they absolutely needed it. Interestingly, the Sixers turned the ball over 4 more times than the Celtics, but it was Philadelphia who had 7 more points off of turnovers, teaching us all that if you don't take care of your balls, you won't score in basketball or in life. That's why you must get Manscaped's Performance Package. It's vital to keep things tidy on your face and in your more sensitive areas, and their Lawnmower 4.0 can take care of both. It's cordless and waterproof, so use it in the shower and you won't piss off your wife. But Manscaped's Performance Package has tons more. Their Weed Whacker defends you all up in your face, sending those annoying nose and ear hairs back into the stands. and the Crop Reviver has cool aloe vera to keep your balls dishing and swishing. Unfortunately for Embiid, he had the Celtics hounding him into fumbling his balls a whopping 6 times. So avoid those pesky defenders in your life. Instead, use my code BBALL to save 20% off your order, but I'll also call Manscaped and tell them to give you 2 free gifts for a limited time: the Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. I wear these all the time, and I wouldn't trust anyone else next to my performance package. So click on the link below, use my code BBALL, and we'll all understand more fully why the Warriors were at home being rewarded for playing with their balls better than any other team last year, and then celebrated by letting their young guys and newcomers give them the kind of spark and advantage off the bench that will no doubt lead to a lot of wins and a lot of rest for the starters, none of whom played 33 minutes in a game that was over by the end of the third quarter. The biggest stat that jumped out at me was the 31-24 advantage the Warriors had in assists, and you can use the dimes these supporting players got to explain why this game was over 12 minutes early. Compared to the other 3 teams that played last night, the Warriors' offense is operating at a completely different level of passing and player movement. There's a new level of focus in the Warriors' vaunted low post split with some nice wrinkles out of it. Anyone can play in the post, and watch how JaMychal Green tries to set a flare screen for Curry, who turns it into a curl. His gravity pulls LeBron into a double team. You can already see Steph signaling to skip the ball, and Wiggins wouldn't have been able to make this pass before he got to Golden State. Now, these are routine, as Green is wide open in the late recovery by James. This time, it's Draymond down low, and this is shaping up to be a double screen for DiVincenzo to cut to the right wing, but he breaks it off down the lane, and you can see how Poole would have been wide open using the JaMychal split screen, but Beverly loses sight of both the ball and his man on the gorgeous action that gets them a layup. Just watch Curry on this play. What other guard in the NBA is so willing to give up his body to set physical screens like this? This flex action sees Looney setting him the pin down, and you can see how this was going to flow into a low post split for Curry. However, he cuts back door wide open. Wiggins doesn't throw it, but LeBron was so confused by the action he kept backing up into the lane, giving Green a wide open 3-point shot on the easiest pass Wiggins has. This is a baseline out of bounds, but you can kind of pretend that Curry has the ball on the left block. Moody runs the same route as DiVincenzo did, and Nunn is in an even worse position than Beverly was, as Westbrook has no idea he's supposed to be the help on this play. James Wiseman will also force the coaching staff on the Warriors to decide if he should start at some point in this season, primarily because of the intense threat he is as a roll man, something neither Looney or Draymond can replicate. The simple high pick and roll sees Poole in the corner, no help off of him, which leaves Gabriel reaching in on a professional ball handler. Look how far he's bent over. There's no recovering from this position, and Wiseman gets the friendly roll. Watch for quick drag screens from Wiseman whenever he's in the game. He's fast enough to keep up with the guards, and Gabriel does the same reach in. It's faster for Wiseman to push off that high foot. Don't worry that he can't see the ball for a fraction of a second. He's past Gabriel to receive the pass, and LeBron should be crashing down off of Kuminga 3 steps earlier. But would he really have stopped this shot anyway? And their basic pistol action sees Poole get the handoff into ball screen out top. JTA steps up for fear of the 3-point shot. The easy pocket pass sees Wiseman receive the ball too high, or at least you think it was too far from the hoop above the free throw line, but he's got skills to put it on the ground and get to the front of the rim as the help gets there, but again, can't do anything to stop a 7-footer with this much grace and touch. The Lakers weren't expected to win this game on the road, but this ill-formed roster will continue to get exposed for all its flaws. Look at the games their big three had, and yet they were still down 27 midway through the third quarter. Their struggles to score in the half court will be magnified as more and more teams dare them to shoot by packing it in the lane to take away Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And their reliance on the fast break will most likely wear these two out before the end of the season. The Warriors have a perfect mix of motion offense, long-range shooting, and lockdown defense, and I don't see how anyone can beat them in a 7-game series. And this is knowing that the young guys are going to continue to get better throughout the season. Klay Thompson will most likely improve his physical condition, and the style of play so perfectly fits everyone on the roster that we'll get treated to a kind of beautiful basketball rarely seen on an NBA stage.